What is up, everybody? It is the 6th episode of Taking Shots podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Angel.
And I'm Luis.
And let us know what we got to drink today, Luis.
All right, so today we're drinking Bucanas pineapple, or Bucanas. I think it's mentioned in English.
Yeah.
I think Bucanas is the Spanish word.
I don't even think that's how you say it in Spanish.
They say
Yeah,
Bucanas.
yeah, well, that's what they say.
Unas pinches Bucanas, like a pedo.
Yeah.
You know? But either way, shout out to Sophie. She commented on our TikTok post and she recommended this. I don't know if it was a regular one or the pineapple one.
I think she meant the regular one, but
Low-key,
but it's Bucanas.
It's the
way,
same thing. Yeah. Hopefully,
but
forgive us if anything.
But guys, don't forget the giveaways that we're doing. We're doing 2 of them. We're gonna pop up the instructions right here if you guys want to join. And Sophie is entered into the giveaway because she commented on it and she followed us. So shouts out to her. And I guess we'll just take this shot right now.
Take the shot, dude.
Let's
I don't
see how
even
it is.
drink this like that.
I know. Cheers.
Cheers, my boy.
So this pineapple one, I feel like it's
We good out here.
it's not it doesn't hit as strong as the regular
the
one.
older one, the original.
The original. This one has like by itself like it's sweet, a little bit, but it's still good though.
It's sweeter, but
It's
the
still,
drink though.
The drink
is good.
The drink is just pineapple.
The
and
mixed drink is like
pineapple and Bucanas.
drinkable. It's like the dangerous kind, you know.
It's
like
good though.
Some what is it called? Like mimosas type of deal, you know. It's like so drinkable, like you'll get.
Like you can just sip on it
without even knowing.
Yeah,
exactly.
So guys, we got a couple of topics today, so let's just get right into it. So first thing we want to talk about is the cost of living in 2023, and I don't know how I feel about it because I feel like everything is really expensive nowadays. What do you think?
All the products and everything. I mean, even like just looking at the housing market, it's expensive as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure, and even cars.
Yeah,
cars
for sure. Cars for sure. Cars went through the roof, dude.
Yeah.
Like even crazy. My '97 Civic, I bought for like $1,800. I sold it for $3,500, and that thing had almost 400,000 miles on it.
That's how I knew.
Almost
half
half a thousand miles on that car, dude. And I sold it for twice for what I bought. Almost twice what I bought it for.
Yeah, that's how I knew there ain't no way. Because, I mean, my 2000 Civic, I sold it like a year ago. I sold it like a year before you.
Yeah.
But I did a lot more stuff to it. And, I mean, I bought it for like 1,200. And I sold it for 3,000.
And you still got money off of it, dude. You still made money.
I still made some money, if anything.
That's when we knew them.
And then you can't buy anymore. Like now I miss the Honda. I'm like the type of,
you sell a car.
As a guy, you sell the car and then you miss it.
And then you're always saying like, I missed that car. I should have never sold it. And then you regret it for the rest of your life.
And then now like trying to see if you can buy another one. The same
price.
Hell no way.
Hell no.
Every Honda Civic that I see exactly around that time, it's like at least 4,000. And it's like, it's beat up. And then,
high mileage.
Yeah, the only ones that I've seen at $1,000 is just the shell.
Yeah.
So it's like no
just
engine,
the body,
no
not
transmission
even,
or nothing,
Yeah.
Or fucked up, not working.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
Yeah, that's how I knew the market was bad.
That's how we know that living in 2020.
Take me back.
Yeah, living in 2023 is crazy. Yeah. Especially around us, I think we have a lot of. I think our housing market, is messed up. I'd be curious to see if you were to look up most expensive places to live in the U.S. And see what comes up and what we rank, because I feel like it's expensive out here.
Well, they kind of did. So, New York is like one of the most expensive places to like live.
Yeah.
L.A. for sure. I don't know exactly Colorado as a state, but I mean, where we're at, the location is expensive. Because most of the houses here, like let's say like a typical family home, like a 2 or 3 bedroom, single family home, like 2 3 bedroom, 1 or 2 baths. It's like $500,000.
Yeah,
it's like $500,000,
$500,000, guys, which is crazy to me. And it's like,
and it used to not be like that. It used to be like 200, 300,000.
Yeah, like max 300,000. And I was telling Luis before that, like when we got out of high school, like 2016. I was looking at homes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll stay here. Maybe I'll buy a home. And at the time, I wasn't making that good of money. And I was like, oh, this is kind of expensive. but the houses were around 300,000, like 300, 350, 340 max, like around there. Now, yeah, right. If you could get a house like that, that is a steal. It's like robbery right now because you cannot get into a home,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But even like I said, that was back. Tony said I should have instead of going to kindergarten, I should have been buying a house.
It's like those memes.
Yeah, I should have been buying a home at 7 years old, guys.
Yeah. But what do you think the housing? You think everything's just going up?
Like inflation, kind of like in
You know,
general.
yeah, inflation in general, or what do you think is the problem
Well, I feel like
that everything's going up?
I feel like so. Yes, a lot of things.
Lack of resources.
Uh, the thing is, I think more people don't like to work because I've seen a lot, like even Wendy's, like at least where we're at, they're offering $19 to work, $19 an hour, and then I guess like where we live, $19 an hour, but where we work, like down more to like towards more of the expensive side, it's like $22 an hour, an hour to work at Wendy's, and then it's like, damn, should I just go work at? Should I just go work at Wendy's for $22 an hour? Say less, but I think because they're getting paid more, everything gets a little bit more expensive. It's like how we were talking about earlier. The like strikes, the strikes that like if you're a union, if you strike and stuff, and you like you said UPS or
Like UPS, Chrysler, Ford, Chevy.
because I know
Like big strikes.
because recently they did strikes and they got their raises, but now when you think of it, it's like, okay, they're gonna be paying these people more money, right?
But they're gonna get the cost of their products.
But the cost
more.
of the product is gonna go up now. Like, honestly, I don't know how UPS would work. Like, would their shipping rates
Probably
differ?
their shipping rates would
Or, like-
be more, but I mean, in reality, shipping to back then to now, they probably make more money just because everything nowadays, like in Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon is booming.
Yeah, a lot of their sales, everything is shipping now. A lot of people do online shopping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
That's
a
true.
lot more that UPS gets of income because I mean they have to charge, all those stores or the people to sell stuff online.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, it is true. It's like a lot of people do use like ship to home or like Amazon is a big part right now.
So I'm
honestly.
pretty sure they got fed up,
Mhm.
like it was just a lot more work and they were still probably getting the same pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
So
then the same thing. I mean, they were probably saying they can't really afford to live
Where they're
with their regular wage, so that's why they kind of started doing a strike.
Yeah, but
And those companies, if you do a strike for a day, for weeks,
yeah,
a week or two,
just because
they lose a lot of money.
Yeah, just because they're union. Like when you're union, it's you stick with your brothers. Is what I heard. Is like you stick with your brothers no matter what, and not one person is going to get out of that circle. Like if you guys are on strike, you guys are all on strike. It's everybody in that facility, whatever it may be. They're all on strike to get what they want because they deserve more.
But I think in every shop, let's say, company can low-key kind of do that too, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have to be a union, because I mean they just all have to be together. You know what I mean? Because nowadays also too is you can't everywhere. There are people hiring. People are hiring everywhere.
Yeah,
Like it's a lack of
employees.
and I think maybe a lack of it could be kind of, let's say, skill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen like we talked about it last time, like trades versus going to college,
yeah, going to school.
Yeah, because in reality, a lot of trades and stuff like that, they're lacking new people that are willing to go into that profession.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to get young people to work.
Yeah.
In reality, because like I said, Wendy's and all that, I've always seen they're always hiring.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Everywhere you go,
close by,
yeah,
at least in our area.
Yeah, everywhere we go, like in our area, you go in to shop like at Walmart or Target, you'll see hiring. Like same thing like with Wendy's, you go down and you see the sign, it's like hiring at $19 an hour. Yeah. Same thing with McDonald's.
Yeah, and then also too, I don't know if you've seen I don't know if it was a survey or like a social experiment, but I mean, back in the day, like when we were like kids, they went to basically ask like elementary schoolers what they wanted to be when they wanted to grow up,
Mm-hmm.
and then they did that back then. It used to be like astronauts, um,
Like firefighters,
firefighters,
policemen, like
architects,
teachers,
like
stuff
stuff
like
like
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
In general, like like the superheroes of the
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Doctors, all that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nowadays they did like the same survey. They want to be YouTubers, Twitch streamers, TikTok creators. Like they just want to be like content creators
Content
overall.
creators. Yeah.
Like a lot of people are not looking forward to like do any type of trade jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why
And
I feel
that
like
and that. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like that's why a lot of like the rates have gone up. Because if you can't get people, like a lot of stuff of that is production, it's hard labor. So, and if they can't get people, and in order for them to keep on having the people that they have, they just, they're going to get the wages up. And I mean, the cost is going to be more up. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Even the pandemic,
Uh-huh.
when the pandemic happened, a lot of nurses and all that, they were like lacking.
Oh yeah, like in
Yeah.
staff wise. Yeah.
Yeah, staff. And then I think even there was um, some like nurses and everything that they were getting like overwhelmed
Yeah,
because it
that's
was
true. Because
hard
there's so
for them.
much. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. And well, dude, when you're living like a community, like how we live in, and I get like we're not that. I don't feel like we're that big. But like if you think of if we're understaffed, imagine somebody like in this like a big city, like
Yeah.
L.A. or Texas or something, like the nurses being overwhelmed with hundreds of thousands of people coming in, dude, and you only have so many people to attend to people.
yeah. And then look at new age versus old age too. A lot of people in the like old age used to actually stay in a job for
For a long
years.
time, yeah. Like
Yeah,
they would
for
stick with that
years.
job. Like that was their
Dude,
career.
yeah, yeah. And then new
Now
people, it's like you ask like
you jump.
let's say a 22-year-old,
Yeah.
like hey, how many jobs have you had?
Dude.
They'll list like 10.
Dude, yeah, like their resume is crazy. It's like 1 year, to couple months,
Yeah.
and they don't stick with a job for that long.
Yeah, yeah, and it means
Why
like,
do you think that is?
Because they don't stick to a job or something.
Yeah, why do you
They
think
probably
don't
look something better, or they're not really. I feel like they don't see a job as a job.
they see it like
Like it's just gonna pay them,
yeah.
And then they get bored of it, and then try to go somewhere else. They may get like $1 more, but they don't see like the end result.
Yeah,
so to
they
say.
just keep jumping from job
Yeah,
to job.
and then back then it'll be like promotions. Like you stick to a job
Yeah.
and you get promotions.
Yeah.
You get like raises every year. So it tends to be here and there. Because I mean, there's been people that I've seen that it is good for you to like. You'll get more money. Like let's say you're in the same trade,
Hmm.
and you'll get more money if you're changing jobs because you're gonna get a better offer
Yeah.
every 2-3 years. They say that 2-3 years is the sweet spot
Hmm.
because you're gonna be getting better offers. Like let's say elsewhere.
Yeah.
But at the same time, compared to like someone that's gonna be staying there all the time, because they're gonna be like, let's say, getting $1 or $2 a raise.
Yeah.
And compared to you go to a different company, they're gonna give you a $5 raise
raise, yeah.
automatically. So
That's why
they say,
jump.
but they say 2 or 3 years is kind of like the sweet spot, because they would say if you're trading jobs every 6 months, people look at the resume and they're like, oh, this guy's not really here for a long time.
Yeah, like
You
he
know,
likes
he
to
just-
he
yeah,
just
he
likes to
likes
go
to hop
around.
around.
He goes wherever the money is paying him more,
Yeah.
basically. That's crazy too. But even like still, how even if you make good money nowadays, like even in 2023, how we're saying like the cost of like living in 2023, everything's expensive and stuff like that. Like I saw a TikTok video, and it was
You watch
this.
too much TikTok.
Yeah, everything is. Look, it's crazy.
Nowadays,
TikTok,
the news
dude,
is like TikTok.
dude, everybody uses TikTok, and it's crazy because
I used
it's
to talk shit. I used to talk shit on TikTok.
dude, TikTok is booming. No matter what anybody says, dude, you can. I've learned a couple things like in my line of work, like in my trade, of like hacks, like of things that you can do, things you can learn on TikTok. It is crazy. But how I was saying is, I saw somebody.
Is it FDA approved?
OSHA approved. I sent you that video last time. Yeah, dude, RIP. But how I was saying, I saw a video on TikTok, and it was this guy that got I think it was like 10 people, together that made six figures. We'll say like $100,000 a year in gross pay. Net pay, I don't know what it is, but gross, they made $100,000 or over $100,000 in a year, and he did their calculations of how much they have in bills. Just basically bills. Including cell phone, internet, mortgage,
Like rent,
insurance,
utilities.
yeah, all that stuff. Like debt, and obviously a lot of people have debt nowadays. And he's basically just doing an experiment to see if $100,000 enough to live in this day and age. Like is a six-figure job.
And we're talking about United States
Yes,
right now
U.S.
because
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
talking about
too
U.S.
sure
Yeah,
about other countries.
yeah.
But
But in the U.S. is
US
$100,000. If you make $100,000, is it more than enough to get you by? And by the time he was done with the experiment, it was like more than, I think it was like 80% of people. So eight out of 10 people did not have any money remaining. Like by the time he deducted everything, they maybe had like $200 to like $300 left over, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me because now, like, if you think about it, $100,000 is like, you think about it, it's a lot of money. You make $100,000 in a year, and you're like, dude, that's a lot of money.
But everything is expensive.
Yeah, but now, I don't think $100,000 is that much anymore.
Yeah.
And the thing is too is, like groceries, everything has gone up.
Oh, dude, I was gonna tell you. There's like I saw a post on the movie Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like made in 1990s. It was like around the 1990s, right?
It's
The
an old movie. I
came
know it's an
out.
old movie. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was like a little there was like a scene in the movie
Mm-hmm.
where the kid goes shopping and he goes buys like groceries for the
Groceries,
week.
yeah, yeah.
He buys them and they come up to the total of like around $20.
Mm-hmm.
And now people have bought the same items nowadays and they go to the grocery store and it's like $80 to $90.
Like the same groceries, the same things that he
everything,
picked up. Yeah.
like the eggs,
Yeah.
the tortilla. I don't know.
Yeah, with
Probably not
tortillas,
right?
the beans, the rice, the spaghetti,
Yeah.
the sauce, everything,
Yeah, whatever he bought,
Whatever he bought, it's what they got.
Yeah, the Eggos and
Yeah.
shit.
The waffles.
Yeah.
But damn, that's crazy. Everything's going up, dude,
Yeah.
which is crazy for me, dude. It's
What do you think the solution could be?
Solution?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Or
dude,
you don't think there is a solution?
honestly, I don't think there is a solution because, well, like if you think about it right now,
Just make more money. Try to.
well, dude, the thing
Make
you
it
the only,
more.
yeah, dude, the only thing you can do is like make more money to adjust yourself to your living style and what's kind of around you. Like I feel like
that is
like,
true
dude,
because I
so,
mean,
like for example, like for me and you, we'll look at a house in Texas,
Yeah.
and a house in Texas is not that much. It's like 300,000, like 300, 350, and it's a nice house,
and it's affordable.
and it's affordable for us. It's affordable with the money we're making. We're like, dude, it'd be so nice to move to Texas, like because we're making money right now, and our wages, like we can afford this, our paychecks right now, but then when you move over there, the wages over there are different. So now you're like, damn.
They pay less.
The
But
wages
everything's
are
cheaper, but they pay less.
Yeah, everything is cheaper. We're like, damn, no wonder, people sometimes complain about it. Is because their wages are less. And, us from the outside looking in, we're like, dude, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
But then we're like, oh, damn, they don't make that much money out there, Unless you hustle. I mean, unless you have, like, I feel like a lot of TikTok creators make, like, any content creator makes a lot of money right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean they can. It depends, like their the revenue. I mean, it depends. It's just all numbers. It's advertisement.
Yeah, and
Because in reality, how they make money is advertising.
advertisements and like
So-
partnerships and stuff like that.
Yeah, like let's say sponsorships. They promote a product and they'll
Mm-hmm.
get a certain amount. But and that's why I think younger generation. That's what they want to get into. That being a content creator because they see like
the
they make money.
lifestyle, the
Yeah.
lifestyle. I think they see the lifestyle that that content creator is living.
Like yeah,
Like
even,
Mr. Like dude, you look at Mr. Beast and you're like,
well, he lives humble. He lives humble, but
like
who was it? Look at when they had like the what is it called? The YouTubers, the content creator house in Hollywood, and then Team 10 with
Yeah.
Jake and all of
Yeah.
them, and then what other houses were like popular.
The Cloud House.
Yeah, the Cloud
Cloud
House.
House.
Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking. And the Face House.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like, you know, like, dude, they were living in mansions.
Yeah.
And it was like 10, 15 people. They all drove like what? Lambos.
Dude,
like
expensive cars. Yeah, expensive cars.
You know, so I think like, younger kids, they see that and then they see them, like, let's say all they do is like, playing video games, having fun.
I feel
bringing famous people around them. So I think that's why the younger generation wants to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in reality, they say later on in the future, like how I said, a lot of people are trying to get into stuff like that they'll lack like trades and everything. Like trades later on, it's gonna be like a rise.
Yeah.
In trades, like they're gonna be making money
because they're gonna be more like demanding. They're
exactly.
they're gonna be demanding more people to do trade jobs, but nobody's gonna want to do them. So that's why they gotta compensate. They gotta pay, the trade people more money, so that way it's like more enticing to be able to come in, and do it.
Yeah, and then also college tuition, it's expensive. Like let's say if you want to be a doctor, let's say, because I mean, it's not necessarily. I don't think doctor is necessarily a trade, so to say, but you still have to go to college.
Yeah.
And you have to do your your schooling.
Mm-hmm.
All that
like
is expensive.
Yeah.
Like it's
and it's time
expensive.
consuming too.
Yeah, and it's time. It takes years.
Take years to do.
Become like a because I remember I saw another TikTok that it was like it's someone that graduated out of school and everything, and they were like pretty much like bawling their eyes out. It was a girl like bawling their eyes out because it was like too much for her or something. Because basically she was saying that her student loans and everything were just mad expensive.
Well, I was about to ask you about that. Like I just thought of a question right now. Do you think it would even be worth it? You think it'd even be worth
to be
it?
A doctor?
Well, not even a doctor, just like something that would be like time consuming, for you to like. Okay, well, I get it. Some people might not think it's not worth it, or it is worth it because that's what they want to do in life. Like if you want to become a doctor, you want to help save lives, and they're motivated to do that.
They might see that it's not worth
it. Yeah, they go after.
Like they would want to do it, but they're like gonna be like, "Yo, it's too much years that I first have to invest on. I'm not. It's basically have to sacrifice.
Well, not even
broke. They're gonna have to live like broke for a few amount of years, and then they still have to pay their student loans even when they start working on their career.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say is like even after they got done out of school, if they get into that field, because I know some people don't always get into that field that they want to do.
No, and that's the crazy thing too. They go to school
and they don't do what they went to go.
They don't go to what they actually went to go study.
Yeah, and like, do you think it was like in your eyes, if you were to go to school for, to be a doctor, for example? Okay, well, example. You go to school, you're done with school, but now you have all this student debt. Yeah. And then after that, you have to go find a job in that field.
Yeah.
Do you think at the end it would be worth it? And like I said, this varies from people to people because, well, person to person, because some people might be really motivated to do that, and some people stick through it just because,
Like in my opinion, I really wouldn't, because in my eyes, I never like to let's say, because like I said, you are gonna have to be like in debt for a good amount of while.
A while.
And I don't really like debt, and then I don't like to have other people help me, like financially, because I feel like other people have their own problems, so I never really like to ask for money too much.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't want to ask like my parents, like younger generation.
But you're just independent.
Yeah, I like to be independent, financially. So in my eyes, I wouldn't like to do that because of that reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
I feel like a lot of people.
It's a burden.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel like that too.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they might like it, they would want to, but they might see at the end, it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like I said, it just depends on person to person. Like for me, I don't think that it would be worth it too. Just because the way that I am, I'm not like I said, it just depends from person to person.
And that's why I kind of do for me, in my opinion, I like trade.
Yeah,
trades a lot just because you get paid.
Pretty
you might
decently,
yeah. Well, you might even start getting paid low.
Yeah.
At the beginning, because it's basically, what do they call it? What is it called? Well, yeah, you're a trainee,
Yeah.
So you get paid.
You're like an apprentice.
Apprentice. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, you're basically an apprentice when you start out, but in reality, you're still getting paid. They don't really charge you.
Yeah.
And let's say, you start eventually, in a few years, you start getting paid a good amount.
Yeah.
And like in the
But
company that I work at, it's a bigger company, and the company that I work at, it has like a program to be an apprentice,
mhm.
and it's a really good program because like let's say you start getting paid low at the beginning, but I mean
I mean, yeah,
they
you got to
fund your
work your way up.
tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fund your tools, and then they also I mean you actually get a certification too,
Mhm.
and then from there like later on at 3 4 years, I think that's when you can work on your own as a full on, you know, technician.
Yeah, technician.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like for right now, I think it. I mean, living in 2023 and like the conditions that we live in. I mean, not the conditions, but like just everything that's going on around us. I feel like it is a little bit expensive,
Yeah.
from in my eyes, and like especially you have to like how I said that guy that did like the that experiment or the statistics. He got 10 people together and did whatever 10 figure. No, 6 figures was not enough. To me, that's crazy, and it's like it is. That's like you see it, and you're like, yeah, we're living in a really expensive world right now.
Yeah.
I feel like just
And then,
America is like money hungry.
well,
Like
I was
they
gonna tell you
tax you on
something too.
everything.
Well, something about taxes. So, like I said, I feel like a lot of people are saying, you move the rates, like the minimum wage, you move it up, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone starts getting paid more, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that really doesn't work because they'll move the. What I've seen is they move the wages up, but even like let's say the people that are making like let's say somewhat good money, their wages don't go up. They kind of stay
Stay
there.
the same.
So they start going like their wage kind of stays lower
Mm-hmm.
nowadays.
Yeah.
And then also too is big companies, they don't really mind putting the wage up because in reality, they're just gonna do their products like higher
Higher.
rate.
They're
Like
gonna charge more.
they're gonna charge more for their product. And then also too, like let's say new small businesses that are barely starting out,
Mm-hmm.
they can't afford to pay their
The employees.
basically their employees
Yeah.
that much because I
Like if
mean they
because like
still.
because like when the competitors, if you have like a big corporation that comes in and they're paying the employees say like $20 an hour, and then this small business has been paying their employees $15 an hour, and they're barely getting any business. Now this big company comes in and now it basically takes over. Now everybody that works at the small business, they're like, dude, this guy across the street is paying $5 more.
And
I want to go over there.
yeah, and also too, I mean, small businesses, it's tough for them too. They don't really succeed,
Mm-hmm.
as people say. Just because someone says they own a business doesn't mean they're
They're
making money.
yeah.
Because in reality, to have a business, it is expensive.
It's like it's
Because
the
they gotta
difference
pay
is
like let's say like pretty much like if they have a building or anything like that,
like the
they have
rent.
to pay the
Like
rent,
if they pay rent
electricity,
for it, or if they have if they own it, then their
materials.
mortgage, materials for what they do, like whether it be
They have to have like a bookkeeper,
yeah,
everything. Yeah,
it's expensive.
it's expensive.
Everybody that owns a business isn't always
And I
successful.
think there was a statistic that was around like, more than, so it was for sure more than 50, I think around 60 70%
Uh-huh.
small businesses fail in the first 1 or 2 years.
Yeah. And it's hard to get people, especially like here in the valley. I feel like it would be hard
Yeah.
just because there's not that many people.
They're hiring, they're like,
They're hiring
really
everybody's
every
hiring. Yeah,
business.
everybody's, so there's like a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, you look at if you were in a big city, like even you have even more competition around.
Yeah.
It's the difference too. It's like, and then a lot more people are doing it too.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're doing it for cheaper. Maybe they're paying their employees more. Who knows what it is? But you always have to compete with somebody, and there's a point that small businesses like they're capped out at. They
And-
cannot do any more than what they are doing already.
Yeah. And what I really think would help out is, let's say, lower interest rates and then lower tax. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because tax, I'm telling you, tax money, they take out a lot
Well, yeah,
of money, and then they tax you on everything.
yeah. Well, like look, okay. So yes, you make your gross pay, which is $100,000, right? And then they tax that, and now you're only bringing home what, $70,000? Okay, you're only making $70,000. Okay, whatever. You go to a store, you go buy your groceries, they tax you on that too. So then there it is. There's another state tax, whatever it may be. All right, you're taxed another, like 3% or whatever it is on your total, your total bill. And then your phone bill, it's taxed. Your insurance, it's taxed. Your mortgage, it's taxed. Your car bill is taxed. Everything is taxed nowadays. So they're just, I don't know. I just feel like America is money hungry, dude.
Well,
and it's like, when do you stop? When?
No, and then also too interest rate.
Yeah.
Because like I said, a lot of people can't afford, so a lot of people finance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rate is really high.
Yeah.
Interest rate is like 8, like 8 point something.
Well,
12.
well, the thing about that right now, dude, is that I've actually seen that the interest rate is dropping. Like for homes, the interest rate is dropping right now.
Yeah.
I think. Well, that's what I saw. Is like the highest percentage that has dropped since like 2006 or 2008.
Yeah.
It was 1% in 1 month, and that's a big dip.
Yeah.
In 1 month, and like the mortgage.
Yeah.
Or like real estate, I would say. That's a big drop.
Yeah, but look at cards. What is it called? Cars, all that.
Even cars dropped in value too,
is,
dude.
But like the interest rate is just expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I think is
that's how people make money. Like the banks, that's how banks make money.
Is their interest.
Like their interest.
Yeah. But I think, okay, so for me, since the pandemic happened, everything went up. Everything expensive.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody that bought a house in when it was like the peak, or bought a car when it was at its peak, everything is going down now. Mm-hmm. Do you think a lot more people are gonna be like filing for like foreclosure? Like they're behind on their bills because it's so expensive. Like for like on the mortgage side, or even like on the vehicles that they own.
So on the mortgage side, it really is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And
like more foreclosures.
And the reason actually that a lot of prices went up too, is that basically how things basically went up is because, let's say that happened. There was a foreclosure on a home.
Mm-hmm.
The banks would be the ones that, like, let's say buy the house, or someone with like big. They already have money, so they'll buy it, and then they'll buy it. They'll outbid the person, like let's say a family. Mm-hmm. They'll outbid that family, and then they'll buy it in order for them to resell it again at a higher rate.
At a higher price.
Yeah, and I think they were trying to do like a little, let's say, ban on those type of like it was mostly like banks or something like that. That they couldn't really buy like single family homes because they were like exploiting the market.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Yeah, which is true. And it all depends on where you live too. Like right now where we live, it's already expensive.
Yeah.
Like how much more expensive can it get?
Yeah.
Before, if you think about it, you push out the people, billionaires push out the millionaires, and then it so goes down and down the line, down the valley, and say if you have people that are working like the jobs that people don't want to work, it's like grocery stores. Many people don't want to work at a grocery store. It's like a lot of customer service, a lot of work. You're pushing all those people that live close to there down valley. So now nobody wants to work in that area because now they have to drive, so many
further.
Yeah, they got to drive down further. And then, that's just a gas bill and, mileage on your car, whatever it may be. Do you think that, like, at a certain point there's going to be, like, no employees that want to work? Like,
I think it already is happening.
Like, in that area?
There's a lot of places that they're, like, hiring low staff,
Yeah.
I only get mad at people that are, like, mad at a business. Or, like, they get mad at that workers right there. Because, like, everything is, like, let's say, slower. It takes longer time. Uh-huh. But it's not, like, their fault,
Yeah, it's their
they're
fault,
like trying to, they're trying to go hard. But then in reality, they're, like, lacking employees,
Mm-hmm. They don't have the staff to do it.
Yeah, and then there's people that will work there, and they're like, oh, I'm not getting paid enough, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm just going to see how long.
No, there really is people
that, like, don't care.
They'll work at a job, and they're like, I don't really care.
And they're like, I'm going to see how long it takes for them to fire me.
Yeah, and they're going to be like, oh, if I get fired, I'm just going to file for unemployment. Or, like, I'm going to work at a Wendy's. It plays the same shit.
Yeah. They're playing, like, the waiting game. Like, I'm going to see how long I can do nothing and get paid for it at this job. Mm-hmm. And then, they go from there. They're like, oh, let's see how long it takes them. And then the company has to make a decision, like, we have to fire this guy or we have to keep him.
But a lot of companies don't even if there's, like, bad employees, won't fire them because they don't.
Because they won't they won't even get any more employees. Like when they
like, this is what we got.
Like, wait, who's the replacement? Like, who are we gonna replace?
This is what we got. That's what we gotta do. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy out here.
Taking
me back.
Yeah.
Taking me back to those years, you know.
The 2016.
Yeah. I want to go back to wearing like the baggy South Pole.
South Pole and Echo.
Yeah.
Echo, South Pole and Echo, dude. Oh my god,
Dude, that was my style back in middle school.
dude.
I'll tell you that.
Mimi in the trap. It's going down. Nah, dude, those were the days.
I have a question for you.
Huh.
What did you want to be when you were like younger?
Dude, honestly, okay, so look, when I was younger, I wanted to be a firefighter.
Ah,
Isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, dude. No, because like on how you said, it's like typical. You know, you see, back then I feel like everything, the way that we did everything was different. It's like you looked up to these guys, like, dude, they saved lives. You know, these are the people of the community.
Yeah.
They're like how you said, like the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dude, I want to be one of them. You know, but
So you wanted to be a firefighter?
yeah, I wanted to be a firefighter. I was like, firefighter, done.
Yeah.
That was it. What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be an architect.
An architect?
But it was because I heard they got paid good money.
Yeah.
And I like drawing a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like about drawing. But then I was like, it was a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah, you're like, oh, never mind.
You know, a lot of math and
You're like-
everything. You got to do all the measurements.
You're like,
And
never
I was
mind.
like, oh, I don't know about that. shit,
You're like, never mind.
I just wanted to draw like a house,
A
you know,
guy-
some trees, you know.
They're
a
going to
sun.
San Luis to build a pyramid.
Yeah.
Perfect. I don't know about that, Chief.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about that. Like it was like a little bit more than I expected.
Mhm.
How about high school though? Because like high school, you knew a bit more.
You kind of knew more.
What did you want to be around high school?
Well, I feel like when you get
Like
older.
before, like you're about to go to high school, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, what do you want to be?" Did you even have an idea? You're like, "Oh, I have no idea what the fuck I want to do."
Okay, so like, that's funny because how you said like the newer age. I don't know when it started. Like
You-
when pe-
you were the
no
fault.
no when people wanted to be like content creators and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that at that time when I was like getting out of middle school,
Yeah.
being like going into high school, I was like, oh, that's okay. I don't know if you guys know like PewDiePie. That's when he
It's
was.
PewDiePie.
That's when he was booming.
Yeah, yeah.
And dude, I would watch him all the time, and I'm like, dude, he has a nice house, you know, this and that. He has a lot of good things, and at that time, I was like, oh, I want to be just like him. I want to be like a content creator, YouTube, you know. I want to be on YouTube, and I want to make videos. And I feel like at that age too, you're getting out of middle school, you're not really like matured yet. You know, you're fresh, and in middle school, you go home, you play Call of Duty with the boys, and you're like, hey. You know, oh, I'm so good at the game. Oh, I should, you know,
Take
I
me
should,
back to those days.
yeah, I should start recording myself, this and that, and it's like it's not that easy. It's like you like, okay, you're one in like a million people doing it. You got to stand out.
Yeah.
It's like that's the thing. That's the difference. Is that you got to stand out. But that's what I wanted to be. I was like, dude, I want to be a gaming YouTuber. Like out of middle school, going into high school, I was like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. That's what I wanted to do. What did you think you wanted to do? Like, what did you... Okay, like, let me ask you a different question. When you were in middle school, what did you think... Like, getting into high school, what did you think you were going to be doing as a career?
But middle school age?
Like, okay, get like freshman. We'll say freshman.
Freshman?
Like, beginning of high school. You went into high school, and what were you thinking? Like, I want to do this.
I think when getting in high school, I was still like... I didn't really worry about it too much.
No?
It was more towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, towards the end, it's like when you were, like... Had to look for a college. You had to, like, look for a job. Because it's like, what are you going to do next year, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when you're, like, about to graduate high school, everybody's, like, panicking.
Well, everyone is.
Everybody
a lot of people
is,
are. A
yeah,
lot of my
everybody-
friends.
a lot of
and
people are
everything,
panicking.
They're like, oh, I don't know what the fuck am I doing next
Because
year.
you're like, okay, do you think it's kind of peer pressure? Like,
There is,
like,
probably.
so like peer pressure. For example, you're getting out of high school and everybody's saying they want to do one thing. You know, they all want to do the same thing. Maybe that's where like the college comes in. Like everybody's like, oh, I want to go to college. I need to go to college. I need to go to college. And then in your mind, you're like, I need to go to college because everybody else is doing it.
Well, I feel like a lot of people, that's the reason they kind of went to college.
Because
They did a
everybody
career,
else,
and they never really followed it because they just... There was a time they went to the college because, like, that was, like, the thing to do after high school.
Mhm.
Like, that was, like, the next step after high school.
It's like,
know?
okay,
You got to
gotta
go to college.
Yeah.
But they didn't even know what the fuck they were going to do.
They wanted to go to college.
Because
Just
I
go to
remember
college.
I asked some people, like, oh, okay, you're going to college. Cool. What are you majoring in? They're like, oh, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck do you not know? I was
and
like,
they,
how do you not
no,
know?
and then they're already going to school, like doing their basics and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, it's like, okay, so I think it is
Did
kind of
you
like
want to go to college or no?
me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
well,
okay.
yeah, okay,
So
yeah.
you said that you weren't trying to be a content creator too, right? Did you try to pursue it, or were you gonna be like, this is like a dream, but I know it's not realistic, so I'm gonna do something else? Or
Well, okay, I feel
what
like
did
it
you
was
do?
kind of like a dream. You know, you're like, oh, dude, I want to be just like him.
Did you
I want.
pursue it?
Honestly, not really.
Okay.
Like
So
when
you
I
didn't
like
put
it,
your
no,
effort
no,
in
no.
it.
Like it during. Well, no, honestly, no. Actually, I think a little bit yes, because at the time I was like starting to get into. I think there's. Okay, let me say this. The hard part for me was the money side, like getting the equipment and getting like a good computer that like can edit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
For me, dude, I bought when I started working since I was like getting out of eighth grade. I was already working. I bought like a cheap computer and I was like, oh, this is gonna do. Nah, cheap computers don't do it. It's like you have to have a good computer to edit and stuff. And I was that's when we made like our little gaming clan or whatever with all the homeboys. After school, you'd make clips and then I would start to edit. I'd start to edit them. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be like an editor.
Like a face type.
Yeah, like
edits.
no, kind of like that, but like I would do the clips and then I would try to edit them myself. I would learn After Effects. Like the program. Shout out to my boy Diego, dude. He was going ham on that, dude. And I was like, oh, he's doing it. Oh, I gotta do it too. Teach me how to do this. All right, and then the thing is, YouTube can teach you anything. You look up, bam, it's right there. All right, say less. I know how to do this now. And that I kind of gave it a little bit of an effort, but I feel like at the end, it was like more of like a money thing because like, I don't know, it's just expensive to do that stuff, and you're making not that much money. You're only working weekends and you're in high school. Especially for me, I got to pay for my own food. I was already paying my own phone bill at that time. And it's like, okay, would I rather do this that I don't know it's going to work? Or would I rather just pay the bills that I need to? Like, I need food. My parents aren't going to give me any money for food.
So it was more of chasing a dream or actually surviving.
Yeah,
let's say.
yeah, basically. And then for me, I was like, I need to survive. I need money to survive.
It's not realistic. You kind of saw that it wasn't realistic, so you never really followed it.
Yeah, it's like, I tried it for a little bit, but it didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? This isn't going to work. I'm just going to give up on it.
Yeah.
But what do you, what about you? Like, were you, like, did you ever chase anything that you wanted to do? Like, I want to do this and I want to do it now and I'm going to give it up my all.
Funny enough, I really didn't know that about you, to be honest with you, that you were like trying to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what,
I was the same thing.
That's how we were editing. That's what we were editing all the time. Like, I have like YouTube videos and stuff like on my different channel that you guys will never know about. Yeah. Because that was like back in the day. But
all I gotta say is shout out to my boy Diego. He I remember you guys, I don't know if it was you or him or what, but I remember there was like a school fight that happened.
That was Diego.
Diego edited
that was
the
Diego,
video.
bro.
He edited like if it was a Mortal Kombat, like a knockout.
Yeah.
Diego, oh my god.
Yeah, that was, oh my god.
Yeah, because I remember, like the school fights.
Hey, we didn't get the video. Like, he would edit the school fights, dude. That was a crazy thing. And like when the Harlem Shake was the thing too. Did you ever see that one?
I remember, yeah.
The Harlem Shake, bro. So he edited that too. He edited like, we did like a one in high school, where you can go up to the top and you can see everything like in the lobby. That's how he did it. Like, somebody walk in and then bam, Harlem Shake.
I remember that, but I don't know if he.
But the school fight one.
The school fights. One school fight that I remember he edited, and it was like a Mortal Kombat, like edit. It was like a real life.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was.
That one was too funny. That's what I always remember Dio for that one.
Shout out to
like
Diego.
Iconic, dude.
Dude, that's the crazy thing, dude.
Nah, but in reality, for me, I was the same thing. I was like looking at content creators too. Because my thing was like the same thing, YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I watch a lot of, back in the day, it was a lot of Call of Duty content.
Yeah.
So it was like White Boy Chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
T. Martin.
Yeah.
I think it was like Ali-A, I think
Ali-A, yeah. Ali-A.
And it was all those guys, Mm-hmm. And there were some other guys that I watched, like Super Ego. Mm-hmm. Like comedy ones. Timothy De La Ghetto.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of...
Smosh.
Yes. Smosh, yeah.
So Ray William Johnson,
Yeah. Oh my god.
I would watch all them, and they like I would see like the same thing because there would always be a trend of like like a new like room tour, a house tour, and everything, and they were balling like they had
Yeah,
a
they
badass
were.
house and everything.
And same thing with you remember the app iFunny?
I remember it, but wasn't it just like Instagram? But it was just like funny stuff.
So it was basically just like Instagram iFunny, and then they would do like the top 10 funniest memes. It was like that's I think that's how memes started, dude.
I never saw that.
No?
One. No.
Damn.
I remember that, but I just don't remember getting into it or anything.
Yeah. No. That,
But
there was a bit
like for me, I chased the content creator thing too.
Yeah.
And for me, the same thing. I mean, I had a channel, and I mean, I put my mind to it, and the same thing. I didn't have money.
That's the hard thing. I literally
bought like a $15. It was like so. Since it was like video games. You have to capture the actual TV, right?
Yeah, your gameplay.
And I bought like a little, like back then they had like a recorder for the videos, and it was like the Easy Cap or what was it? No. I like Elgato.
Elgato, yeah.
It was Elgato, and there was another popular one, but they were like $100, $200.
Yeah, and dude,
and my parents were gonna buy me that. Yeah, I had to buy it on my own. And I remember there was like some apps that you would like literally watch ads, and watching ads or videos would give you like money. And I made enough money, dude, to buy like a $15 like Amazon gift card. It was a fuck ton of videos that I had to watch.
But he watched a million videos.
My goal was there, I'm watching the trailers.
A million videos just to get a $15 gift card.
I made it. And then anyways, I got like the gift card from Amazon, and I bought like a Easy Cap, and it was like a $15 like recorder.
Yeah.
It was I think it might have been like $25. But it's a recorder and stuff like that, and it was like bad quality and everything. And the same thing, I had like an old laptop that I would like record on. It would take forever to edit, and everything that I needed to like like learn, I would learn it a lot in YouTube. Like, I'd literally go to it, look at YouTube, and that's how I would do it. Photoshop too. I got into Photoshop a lot. And Photoshop, if I wanted to make a certain effect, I would just Google or YouTube it, and that'll tell me how to do that effect, and I integrate it to my project.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I did that for like a year, like the actual like YouTuber,
YouTuber,
and the
content
channel,
creator,
and the channel was actually growing.
Yeah.
Like,
no, because I saw.
Yeah, like I showed Angel already. Yeah, there's a few people that kind of know it, but the people that know, I did actually do like YouTube videos. Because I was shy. I was never telling other people. Like like my close homies never knew. I only told like 2 or 3 people, And the channel was growing.
Well, I feel like too, like at the time when you're younger and you're doing that kind of thing, you're getting like judged. You're like
peer pressure.
Yeah, no, not peer pressure. You're getting judged. You're like, if you tell somebody, you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing my YouTube channel, and they're like, why are you doing a YouTube channel? And then they're gonna be like, oh, you're not even good enough. You're not even funny. You're not even doing this. You're not even doing that.
I'm telling you, I never advertised it like in my own like media. Like I never put it on Facebook or my Instagram or anything like that, because I was just always, like, let's say, scared or shy or anything like that. So I never put it out there. I completely just put it to strangers. But it did start growing. It did, yeah. Eventually did start growing. And I got a YouTube check. That's
even with Luis not like promoting it or nothing, him doing it, just posting stuff, people were subscribing, and he actually got a YouTube check, which is crazy because like this when he was telling me about the story.
No, and then back then, so YouTube worked a little bit different. So there was like a YouTube partnership, but it didn't pay that good. So you could do like, let's say, there was people that were partners on the YouTube space, and there would be, let's say, your promoters, so to say.
Yeah.
So you would get in a partnership. I think Machinima was a big one.
Machinima,
like a lot of gamers and everything, they go to get into Machinima, sign a contract. They would put ads on the video. That you do custom thumbnails and everything, but they would give you revenue. And for me, I got into like a small network partnership with me, because before making money, you first have to like hit criteria. You have to hit a certain amount of subscribers. You have to hit a certain amount of views and everything. So I reached that, and it was like a small like a new network that happened for small creators. And I remember I got into it, and like I said, I was like when I barely started making like my first check or second check, I was like a $60 check, so it wasn't enough to like make a living.
But even then, I feel like you would like as soon as you would see that check come up, you're like, you're like I'm on the right track. You
Yeah.
know, you're doing
And
it.
yeah. And the thing for me though is, like I said, I was putting my mind to it and like my time. And like I said, it is a lot of time consuming actually doing content creator,
Mm-hmm.
because let's say you have to record a video, you still have to edit it, uploading it, importing it, and all that. It takes time.
Yeah, it does.
And so
I feel like a lot of people don't get how much
to that
work
time.
it takes to
Yeah,
be
no, there
like,
is some
even
work
like to
that you
put
gotta
out
do.
these videos. Like, dude, we have to edit them first. We have to plan out a day to record them, and then we have to get whatever we have to, like, our own money to supply all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously the money we put into like a computer to edit it,
Mm-hmm.
a camera to do it on, and then a tripod to keep it still. And then on top of that, we have to do the editing out of our own time, and then from that split it up to making TikTok videos. And
And
it's
this
like
is like
it's a
I
lot of
said,
work.
no, it's a lot of work to actually be like a content creator. And then, like I said, it's a luck sort of deal,
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, those, like, all of a sudden, like, I used to put videos, it'll only be like, 40 views, and it would be like taking me forever.
Yeah.
But eventually started getting to the hundreds and then the thousands. So, like I said, it does take some work to do. But I did have to give that up too, because the same thing. I mean, later on, I started working full time and I started working 2 jobs, and I never
It's
had
either
time.
it's either
Yeah, and it's you gotta pay your
like you
bills.
said,
You gotta be
either
like
survive,
living.
or
Yeah,
go out and try to chase your dream. And it's like at the
yeah,
time when you're young and you're like, dude, you know what? I don't think I can make it. You have to make the decision. You're like,
yeah.
I
You
can
gotta
either keep
take your
chasing this.
decision.
Yeah, you can either keep chasing, what you're doing right now, or, that might not work out for you. You never know. And then, as opposed to, just surviving, paying your bills and stuff, and you gotta quit that. So,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
yeah. But even like till then, that's when even like in high school, because I was making those videos in high school, right?
Hmm.
And then right after, I mean, I still saw that as a hobby because I still like to do it. So I
Hmm.
saw it more as a hobby. And right after, I was thinking into getting into either graphic design
Hmm.
or I wanted to work in a body shop,
Yeah.
which is what I kind of
Yeah,
am
you
now.
do now. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I mostly was trying to look for. And the only thing was the same thing too. When I like graphic design a lot,
Hmm.
and it was like, let's say, good pay, and it was easy. All you had to do was literally be on your computer, making. Well, it's not easy, but it's like it's creative, and
Yeah.
I like the creativity. But all it is you're on your computer, you can work remote, and then a lot of people like graphic designers, so they can work at home,
Yeah.
and it was like my thing to do. But then after, like, that is more of a regular kind of, you still have to do your 4 years
Hmm.
of college, and that's what I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of quit that. And then when I was trying to get into the body, body side, like a body shop, it's a technical job, and you can go to a college and learn that, but it's expensive.
It is.
And then like us of us, we didn't really get too much government help.
You don't get like financial aid.
Yeah, we didn't really get financial aid or anything, so that's why I kind of after that started working
Yeah.
right away and started working from the bottom. Working some jobs that are fast food restaurants.
Yeah. You gotta.
In my experience, it was
You did what you
grocery
gotta.
stores and
Yeah.
gas stations.
Yeah.
But you had to do it because
You have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to survive. You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, you got to do.
Yeah. But I feel like how you were saying, with the, I feel like a lot of people, their careers kind of start off as like hobbies, a little bit, and I feel like the hobbies transition from just being hobbies to being a career, and that's kind of how dreams come up. It's like you never know what's gonna pop off. Is the thing, and everybody has a hobby, and if you guys want to chase it, go do it.
I feel like there's a lot of people that don't have hobbies.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like everybody I think
Do you
everybody
think
has a
people
hobby.
should have a hobby?
Well, I feel like yeah. Well, I feel like everybody does have a hobby. Like, for example, if you're working in construction, you come home and you draw for fun. That's a hobby. Anything could be a hobby to you.
But I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that don't have
That
a
don't
hobby.
have ones. Mm,
And I think in reality is because they work a lot because they try to make afford
they just
their
where
living,
yeah.
so they don't have time to have a hobby or anything like that. Like, sure, they could look at entertainment and everything, but I feel like hobby is more like, let's say, you're involved in it. You don't got to watch it. So
Yeah.
a hobby, I feel like it's like let's say Sports is a big hobby. Exercise. What else?
Well,
Stuff
honestly,
like that, you know.
okay. So honestly, there's a lot of things that could be a hobby. Like, you could art, drawing could be a hobby. Gaming could be a hobby.
Yeah.
Working on cars could be a hobby. Reading books could be a hobby. You know, it's literally anything that somebody uses to pass time and that they enjoy. I feel like a hobby should be something that you yourself enjoys, and I feel like everybody should make time for it because no matter what you're going through, you know, whether it be you're sad, mad, angry, whatever, depressed, you should make time for it because that's kind of like healing yourself. You know, it's like you enjoy doing it. You're not forced to doing it. You like doing it, and so that's why you are doing it.
But I feel like there isn't too much hobbies nowadays, because I feel like that's why depression has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there's depression nowadays. I feel like if there wasn't really, let's say, if a lot of people were put time into a hobby, there wouldn't be too much depression. Because, like you said, hobby helps out a lot because you decompress from, like, let's say, your regular job, like, let's say, even
Your
if it's a
regular
9 to
life.
5
I mean,
or
I
anything
feel like when
that,
you
your financial problems, your relationship problems, you know, anything like that.
whatever it may be.
It helps you. It helps
Yeah.
out a lot. But I feel like, let's say, hobbies, they
Like-
tend to, sometimes, some hobbies are expensive. And then, like I said, there's a lot of people that don't have time for hobbies at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I feel, like I said, the way that I feel is whatever you like to do, you should do it because it's going to make you happy. And how you were saying, it's a lot of people don't have hobbies. The people that don't have hobbies, I feel like maybe that's why they're, like depressed, maybe. I'm not going to say that they are. I don't know if they are or aren't. I'm just saying, like, sometimes how we, just how we talked about, it could be a deciding factor. It's like either surviving or, doing what you like. But I feel like everybody should have time for it because it would help you. It would help you. It would help you.
No, but I'm telling you that, yeah. Because I'm telling you, I don't know if it's just my experience or what, but there's been people that I've talked to, they don't really have nothing.
But everybody is different too, though.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, it's like you don't know. The thing is like, the thing is like you, the way that I see it is you shouldn't judge somebody because you don't know what they've been through, and I feel like that should be standard for everybody.
No, but that's what they told me.
Yeah,
They literally told me they're like, oh, I don't have a hobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what
you're like, damn, what do you do then?
Yeah.
And you got to think of it too. Is like, what do they do with their free time? They can't be working all the time.
No, I know.
They got to be doing something.
Yeah, but like I said, a hobby, I feel like it's a certain, let's say, criteria.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah. But I think that'll be it for today's episode, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Follow us on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Enter our giveaway, how we said in the beginning of the show. And,
I said, it's free money, guys.
It's free money, guys. We're giving away 2.
And we're trying to give it out, during the holiday season.
Who doesn't like free money? If you don't like free money, okay,
then,
hey, just keep clicking through.
All you have to do is, like I said, comment and follow, and that's it.
Like I said, we posted up the instructions in the beginning of the video. We'll post it up right here again. And just so you guys can see, there's 2 different giveaways, 2 different requirements for each giveaway. Make sure to follow those. And yeah, I think that'll be it for this show, guys. Nothing more to say, but Luis, you know how we are every time. Guys, cheers.
I got a little something good.
Wow. Cheers, guys. Keep taking shots.
Until the next one, keep taking shots.
Later.
Hasta la vista.